So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Broke Petrol. Today I'm hailing from the sunny Sunshine State of Florida. So I'm on holiday, and being a car content creator, I thought, you know what? I've got a car, this car behind me, while I'm here. So I thought I'll make a little review. So it's going to be a brutally honest review of this car right here. This is a 2026 GMC Acadia Elevation Edition, which means it's the basic spec. So we're going to go through it, tell you what it comes with, take it for a little drive, do a sound test and all that kind of good stuff. So sit back, relax, and we'll get into it. So, right guys, what we have here is a 7-seater. They say it's a mid-size SUV, although to my eye, it is probably about the same size or maybe a little bit bigger than a Range Rover L405. And it comes very well equipped actually, even though this is a base model. You do get some higher trims. I think the highest one is called a Denali. This one is the Elevation, which means it's the base spec, but they really don't skimp out on what you get. There's a couple things that I would like, a couple things that annoy me, but we'll go through that while we, go through the car. So this has a 2.5 litre turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, making 385 brake horsepower, and the torque is somewhere around the 370-ish. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but I think that's where it's about. And this costs MSRP from about 53,000 base. This is the base model. And then it goes up and up and up from there. So what you're looking at here is a GMC. I'm not sure if they source it from anywhere else, but I'm going to go, this is a GMC, General Motors, basically the English version to Vauxhall, 2.5 litre inline 4. And it looks relatively small considering how big this engine bay. I think this is big enough to house a V8. So I think the top Denali spec is a 6 litre V8, I think. Don't quote me on that because I haven't done much research on this. Although I have been driving this a couple of days, I do have some thoughts on things that I do like and I don't like. So yeah, let's do a cold start and get some revs and see what we think. So as per usual with these kind of automatic cars, you got to put your foot on the brake, and then here's the stop engine button. So just start it up. Let's turn that music down because we don't want that music. Right, so it bongs at you for absolutely everything like most modern cars, and I absolutely hate it. So let's give this thing some revs and let's see how it sounds. Let me change the instrument cluster. Right, so we're currently on idle, fast idle. Let's give it some revs. So you get a soft limiter to about 4,000 RPM. You'll hear what that sounds like outside. So another thing that I like about this car, it has keyless entry, keyless go, all that good stuff. So if you've got stuff in your hand, it makes it easier. Also, it has remote start. Now, I don't know how many cars have this in the UK, but this is a game changer. So like I said, it's getting really, really hot here. So like when you go somewhere to eat, the seats can get really, really hot and you can burn yourself. So this, if you set obviously your air conditioning to cold, you can just double tap the fob and you can start your car up remotely. So at least it gets that initial heat out of the car. So let me just show you. Double tap. There you go. So as you're walking up to the car, you can start the air conditioning, start the car, and then that way, when you get in the car, you've got some air conditioning. It's not ridiculously hot, because the last time I was here, we didn't have that on our car. and several times I burnt my thighs and burnt my bum on the leather seats. So that's a good addition. That's something that I like, and more cars should have that. I know it can be a danger, this, that, and the other if you're not putting it in park, but double tap and it's off again. And so there you go. So that is another thing that I really, really like about this car. It makes it so much nicer, especially somewhere like Florida, where right now, like I said, it is getting in the ridiculous 28, 30, 31, 32. I think at one point it's supposed to be like 35 degrees while I'm here. So that really does make a difference when you go to a restaurant to eat in the middle of the day and you come back and you want to cool the car down just so you don't burn yourself when you get in. So another thing that this car could really, really do with is either fixed, put the camera down, either fixed or deployable side steps, because getting into it, it kind of comes to about, bring it down a little bit, comes to about like here, the floor does. So getting in and getting out, if you're a small one like my wife is only 5 foot, so bless her, getting in and out of this is actually a little bit hilarious because she kind of has to slide, and then when she's getting in she has to kind of do a little hop to get in. So fixed or deployable side steps would be a major win for this car. Now I don't know if, because this is a base model, they don't come with it or they don't spec it or whatever, but yeah, specing it, if you can spec it, I would recommend specing it if you're buying it. If you're renting it, obviously you get what you get, or fixed side steps, one of the two. Well, like I said, other than that, this car comes pretty well equipped. So on the inside here, it actually doesn't feel too bad for a 7-seater. You get plenty of headroom, plenty of foot room. These back seats, they go forward and backwards. And then you've got the bench seat at the back, which I'll show you in a minute. On the front, you have this 15-inch touchscreen iPad style display, which is pretty much got everything on it. Most of your functions go through that. On the right stalk, you have your gear selector. If you push this button here, that's to put it in park. To put it in drive, it's pull towards yourself and down, and reverse is pull towards you and up. And now the seat's vibrating. That's one of the things that really annoy me. So I'll put it back in park. This is an 8-inch display, and as you can see, that it's quite configurable. You can put all different types of information on there. So you can have it like this, which is your standard one. You change it to your maps. So when you're using your Google Maps here, it comes up here and shows you where you need to go. And then you've got this display, which shows you how close you are from the car in front. If you've got the radar guided cruise control, which is operated by this button here. This is to operate and stop your cruise control. This is for low traction mode, this button here, so it keeps the revs a little bit lower. On this side, it's for voice commands, radio, heated steering wheel, which is something that I like, and again, this is the button to change the display. So yeah, you got 2 cup holders, phone charger, wireless charging pad. Down here, let me see if I can get you down there. So down here where my hand is, you've got like a floating cubby hole to put bags or whatever down there. And also there's the lighter 12 volt socket, whatever you want to call it. So over here you have your dimmer switch for your instrument cluster. So during the day, this doesn't really do very much because it is what it is, but at night it does change the brightness of it. There is your stop start button, your mode buttons. So if I press up, it'll change it to snow and haul, ice and snow, sport and normal. And then finally your parking brake. Let me just turn the car off, don't want to burn unnecessary. So this car has done 17,381 miles, so really, really new car. This is the newest car I've ever driven, and it's starting to get absolutely ridiculously warm. So I'm going to put the engine on to get some air conditioning on, because it is already 82 degrees, whatever that works out to be in Celsius. So second row, you got 2 seats. They do go forward and backwards, so you can recline them a little bit as well. You've got captain style armrests if you want to, rest your arms. You got rear climate control, so you can turn it up or down, whatever you want on the back. And then for your third row, these are where the seats need to come a little bit forward. So let me go ahead and put the seats up, and then I'll show you what it was like in the back. So this is what the rear boot looks like with all 7 seats up and in place. It's pretty decent boot, to be honest. But obviously if you're going to have more people, this isn't going to be very good. So like when we came, we needed suitcase space. So this would, the third row would have to go back down. And that's pretty easy. You pull on the tab and push, trying to do it with one hand. There we go. And again. So now you've got absolutely acres and acres of space. This is, like I say, this is bigger than a Range Rover. So when the seats are up, you can see you've got cup holders there, and you've got USB charging points in the back as well. So just on the corner there, you've got USB charging point there as well. So, and you've got tie down points. So you can lash stuff down underneath here. What's underneath here? It's extra storage, which I didn't know until just looking now. And there's vehicle information. Again, didn't know that until just now. Power tailgate, so you can either operate it from there or you can operate it from the key fob. Double tap and down it goes. So to be fair, this is quite well, like I said, it's quite well equipped. So these are 20-inch wheels. The tyre size is 255, 55, 20. So 20-inch rims. And you know what? I actually quite like them. I've seen a couple of these with black wheels, and I don't really like it. This is brown, it says, but it's a Metallica sort of brown. But do you know what? I quite like it. And then you've got cameras all around the car. You've got 360-degree cameras. You've got one there, which is awesome. So you can get right up close, because when you sit in the car, you can't see the front end of the car. So you can get right up close and make sure you're not hitting anything. You've got cameras under the mirrors. And then you got cameras on the back. So several times elevation, Acadia Elevation. And there's your other camera, which is just there. So yeah, like I said, several times that saved me when I'm parking. I can make sure that I'm in the parking bay nicely. I don't clip anything, I'm at the front. I can see exactly where the front end starts and finishes, so I can get nice and close to the parking bay, and same at the back as well. So all in all, to park this thing isn't actually too bad. So a couple of things that I like about this car. The driving position is nice. The touchscreen is intuitive, although a little bit laggy. I've missed a couple of exits sometimes when I'm driving somewhere. The sat nav is a little bit slow to respond. If you go into an exit, it will tell you quite late about which way you need to go. The charging pad, I like that. That works really, really well. Things that I don't like about this car are the sensors that I just said that I do like. I also kind of annoy me as well. So it's got a vibrating seat base, and sometimes there is nothing around you, or you're getting just a little bit close to something. You're not going to hit anything, but just a little bit close to something, and it vibrates, and it really does kind of throw you off the first time it happens. And this car has lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, all that good stuff. And sometimes they're a little bit too intrusive. You can turn them all off, but again, this is a hire car, so I'm not going to go in and spec it individually how I would want it to be, because it's going to go to somebody else, and somebody else might not be as comfortable driving a car like this as I have become, and they need all the suite of sensors and stuff. So I'm just going to leave it how it is for now, but if it was me, I'd turn most of them off. So yeah, it's not too bad. Things that I would change if I was speccing this for myself, I think this is crying out for a panoramic sunroof. Whether it opens or not, it would just bring in a little bit more light, because it's quite coffiny in here, it's quite dark. So yeah, that would just lift the interior, or probably a lighter interior as well. But yeah, other than that, it's nice. It's got Bose sound system, which sounds really, really nice. It's crisp, got good bass on it. Can't really complain about that. The air conditioning is absolutely wonderful. Like you've seen, I've just turned the car on, and it's already 82 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that works out to be. I think 26, I want to say. Probably wrong, but anyway, the air conditioning is absolutely amazing. Let's go and head out for a little drive, and I'll give you some more driving impressions of this car. Also, this car doesn't have heads-up display. I just remembered that as I just looked over the front of the car. On higher trim models, you do have four-wheel drive. This is only front-wheel drive only. On higher trim models, you get four-wheel drive and you get heads-up display. And I think there's a few other little bits that you get, but to be fair, for what this car costs and what you get, I think this is as standard as it gets. It's really, really well spec'd. So yeah, can't really complain about, you know, what you get for your money. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this driving on the go, and I'll give you my impressions about the drive and its feel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's do it. Right, so one thing that I will say about this car is it's very, very quiet and very, very smooth. While you're driving, you don't really hear the engine unless you really get on it. It's not the nicest sounding engine because it's only a 4-cylinder. It could have been a V6, would have made it sound a little bit nicer. The 385 brake horsepower, they do make themselves known, but it's not urgent. It's not like bang. It's not like a Golf R or something like that, or an RS4. It's a big, I don't know, nearly probably 2 tons, just over. And it hides its weight pretty well, to be fair. It doesn't feel overly big. Let's see if I can get close to this so I can get out. Haha, I'm out. It doesn't make itself known, but it does get up and go when you really give it some. I want to go right out of here. It's a beautiful day. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do any kind of speed runs or go really, you know, do a 0 to 60 or anything like that, because the roads around here are all like 35, and I really don't want to get a ticket or a fine or anything like that. So I'm gonna play it safe, just have a nice little drive, enjoy the car as it were, and tell you about my thoughts about the driving. So on first impressions, the brakes are pretty strong. You do have to get used to them. If you've never driven an automatic before, the brakes to me seem a little bit sharper, but they're good. Once you get used to how they work, you can modulate them pretty well. This car, it drives really, really nice if you just need something sedate to drive around with, you know, if you're going shopping, because we did some shopping yesterday, and it swallowed everything that we brought. We did 4 malls yesterday. Oh, listen to that. Oh, that sounds good. The initial pickup, every automatic I've ever driven, they all seem to have like a minor delay, that when you put your foot down, nothing happens for the first few seconds, and then it decides that it wants to go. But that's just, I presume, the way that they're made, just to be a little bit safe, so they're not so snappy. But you know, I can't complain. It's like I said, it's nice. It's very serene. I tried to use sport mode in this, and it really made no difference. Let me put it in sport mode and see if it will make any difference. Right, sport mode. Get onto the motorway. Make sure there's no one coming. Yeah, literally nothing. This is not the best gearbox. This is a ZF 8-speed, as far as I'm aware. I think that's a ZF 8-speed, and it's not the best gearbox. It's very slushy. It really doesn't. You have to work with it when you want to get up to speed. If you want to use the paddles, you have to kind of roll off the gears, roll off the accelerator for it to change gear, and then it will change gear. It's not snappy. It's not like a dual clutch. I want to come off this exit. Are you going to merge on with me? Nope. Okay. Yeah. So it's not very responsive as a driver's car. Obviously, it's not meant to. It doesn't have a V8, so it's not going to be hauling. But for just an everyday tootle around, it's not bad. The steering feel is almost non-existent. Make sure there's no one there. The steering feel, yeah, like I said, is really non-existent. If you're looking for driving feel, ultimate cornering, and let it tell you exactly what it's doing, yeah, this is really, really not the car for you. But maybe in higher trim levels, higher spec levels with a V8, it might sound completely different. It might work better. It might sound, well, it will definitely will sound better. But yeah, it's not too bad as just a kind of a cruiser. Like right now I'm doing 65 miles an hour. You can't really hear the engine and it's just doing what it does. What do you call it? Some people call it a slushmatic because it just does what it does. And you drive nice. It's cool. Parking it is easy because it's not that, although it's big like a R405 compared to our parking spaces, American parking spaces are bigger, so it fits in relatively well. And like I says, with the cameras all around and the 360-degree camera top view, it makes it really easy to park. You can make sure you're in the lines nicely and you're not going to, you know, crash into anybody or hit anything. So, you know, it really is an easy car to live with on a daily basis. I haven't filled it up with petrol yet, so I don't know how much it costs. I think it said let me through. It does something like 25 miles to the gallon. 25 miles to the gallon on petrol. Not sure how that works out in our MPG, because American MPG is always slightly different. But we've been driving it like all week, and to be fair, we still got what, 3/4 of a tank. So, and we've been driving. We've done 3 miles in a single day. So, yeah, it's not too bad at all. If you're coming to America, because we're in Florida, and you need something to, I can just go through there, and you need something to drive about, you're going to do some shopping, I would recommend this as a little driver, because it gets all the you got all the seating in the world that you'll ever need. The driving position is really nice. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. Like I said, I'm not sure about what it's like to fill up, but compared to how much we've been driving, it does feel, it gives you good mileage for what we've been doing. So yeah, can't complain, really and truly. It's not a bad car. Would I like a V8 though? Oh yes, I would absolutely love a V8 in this, because I'm a V8 man, as I've said many times before. I do love a cheeky V8. I'm going back to where I came from, because I literally just started driving. I had no idea where I was going. So heading back to the hotel now. We've had a 15-minute drive, and it's been a good drive. Would I like a V8? Yes, I would love a V8. Is this suffice? Yes. If I was to buy this with my own money, would I feel shortchanged? Actually, I don't really think I would, because even this dash is kind of leather clad. There you go. See, look, I just used the paddle and nothing happened, really and truly. Right, again. Paddle. Then it changed. Then it changed. So, like I said, it really isn't a quick changing gearbox. It's not snappy.
In half a mile, use the right lane to take the Florida 528 toll west ramp to I-4 West.
I don't want to take the toll road. Guys, let me know what you think of this video. Please like, share and subscribe. All the goodness.
Use the right lane to take the Florida 528 toll west ramp.
Please like, share and subscribe. Hype the video, because it really does help the channel out, and I can only do this stuff if you help me out. So until next time, take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
What's the worst case scenario?